What's going on YouTube? Cloverbills here, back with another Scarlet Violet video, and today we're going to be looking at a double genie archetype featuring Thunderous and Landers. And this is a tier 3 sub request to the channel where you, the viewer, get to have a little team building session with me and pitch an idea, and then from there we get to build a squad from scratch based on how I see the meta at the given moment, right? And the request this time around was to use Prankster Thunderous along with Landers. They were very interested in this idea. Of course, good synergy all around because, both flying types, which means Landers is able to go with Earthquake next to it. And then at the same time, you get Intimidate support from the Landers, and then you also get like Eerie Impulse from the Thunders. So you're able to have a good amount of damage mitigation, with these two. And then at the same time, you do have Taunt here with the Thunders. So you're able to deny potential, the Amoonguses going for Spore, Gudra setup, other Trick Rooms or Tailwind teams setting up, unless there's like a Furgraph, of course, right? But other than that, the idea behind these two is they're gonna give you a lot of different options into different matchups, right? Now, again with Eerie Impulse, again against those special attackers, stuff like Fluttermane, you don't want to be taking those Moonblasts or Shadow Balls, especially if they're like modest +1 from booster energy. So that's another good way to like kind of neutralize their damage a little bit. And then at the same time, Landers, it's just going to be a very, very nice bulky pivot option, with the Choice Scarf here. I felt like this was the easiest way to go about it here. That's specs. Okay. And then just keep going for like these U-turns and just cycle out your Intimidates, right? And then at the same time, we're just going to be going for speed to outspeed the Fluttermane in terms of our EV investment. So this way, we don't have to subject ourselves to, the wrath of that is Fluttermane, right? So then all you have to really do here is just support these two, right? Because then, you can't have a two-man Pokemon team. You can have it as an archetype, but then as far as like supporting it, what are we going to go from here? So it's just all about balancing your team and having different options for different matchups, right? Because once you have the archetype, okay, then all you have to do is support it, right? You don't have to like reinvent the wheel. Just use whatever is solid and consistent right now, and then make it easy for yourselves, and then just go out and test, okay? So, of course, we're going to slap on a very, very nice Fire Water Grass Core here with the Heatran, the Rillaboom, and the Urshifu, right? And this is already a combination that has already been proven throughout Regulation D, so you might as well just throw them on in here, right? Of course, we already know the combination of Rillaboom and Urshifu. Fake Out plus Surging Strikes is very, very strong. It forces the opponent to reposition, or otherwise, you can't really protect against the Fake Out. We already know that. And then at the same time, the Heatran with this leftover set along with Substitute is going to help you into those Trick Room teams, right? Because you're just able to stall them out by alternating subs and protects, just keeping your sub alive. And then with the Grassy Terrain from the Rillaboom, along with leftovers, Heatran just stays alive and can't really get broken all that much. Okay, and now you might wonder, well, hold on, we have Landers and Rillaboom here. Won't the Grassy Terrain neutralize our Earthquake damage? Yes, it will. All right, which is why we're not going Earthquake on this build. All right, this will be a Stomping Tantrum set with the Landers here. But overall, again, with this Urshifu as well, Mystic Water, Surging Strikes is just going to do a lot of damage. And then you can even opt for Rain Dance here if you so choose on this Thunderous. If that is the way you want to go about it, it is a play, okay? And then that also helps Rillaboom, right? Because you're just able to, neutralize fire damage here, right? But I feel like just a straight up Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave for speed control set is the ideal way to go, right? And this is why I like Prankster Thunder so much, because all of these, moves have like such good viability, right? Taunt, Eerie Impulse, Thunder Wave, speed control, go for it to hacks here. There's no room for like, Rain Dance necessarily on this type of team, right? And you might question, well, why Thunderbolt as opposed to like Wild Bolt Storm? Because the viewer did not like missing. So they wanted Thunderbolt. And if you want to go for the, Wild Bolt Storm, then feel free to go for that as well. But Thunderbolt was the chosen move here. All right, and then after that, you can just simply slap on here a Fluttermane, right? It's too good not to use. These four are gonna, be relatively consistent what you're trying to do. Great into pretty much everything. It's the #1 used Pokemon. Strong special attack, you might as well. And we kind of need it as well because like we have a bunch of physical options here, right? So we needed a little bit more special attack. We don't really count this. This is like a support one with like half of a special attack. So Heatran and Fluttermane, they're going to carry it here, right? So, and then from here, you can kind of see where teams are going with this. Like, if I just go into like some random turn, right? Let's go into the Nino Pokebros turn, which is happening right now, and then let's just look at, you know, Thundurus and see if there is any like double Genie archetypes happening, right? So already we already see one here from Rangholm. Okay, so Rangholm is going with a similar idea here. So he's got Wild Bolt Storm, right, with Citrus Berry, Eerie Impulse, Thunder Wave here, and then this is an AV Landorus, all right, with pretty much is going to be the moveset that we're going to be going with, right? So this is a bulky Landorus, all right, and then leftovers Heatran, Mystic Water, Urshifu, and then we have an Amoonguss as opposed to a Rillaboom, right? So kind of like a similar idea here, and Amoonguss might actually be better, you know, just depending on if you're a believer in like Dondozo stuff, right? If Dondozo's on your radar, then you can definitely go like Clear Slowpoke, Amoonguss, right? Other than that, it's also really useful in removing, you know, Goodra buffs, right? Of course, and then Rocky Helmet is just so good against like opposing Urshifu, right? So this is one way to approach it, right? And this is Specs Flutter Mane. And then I believe down here from Xeno and Penezri, right? I don't know if I'm saying that name right. I think we have the same 6 that we were also building, right? And it's a, you know, it's a very common idea that has been proven already. So, you know, we just gave the viewers something that's like relatively solid and consistent, right? So Salvezrilla, this is Goggles Thunders. Here's the Thunderbolt as opposed to Wild Bolt Storm. All right, this is the Scarf Landorus, so that's also good. And then here's the Sub Heatran, right? Booster Fluttermane as opposed to the Specs. What about his fellow countryman here? Is this basically the same team here? Yeah, I think it is. All right, so they built together. So again, you can kind of see like similar ideas here as opposed to what's being used. How about Mixed Silent over here? 3 and 3 here, but pretty much the same kind of team that Rangholm is using. So this is Rocky Helmet Thundurus with Wobble Turn Taunt. Scary Face, right? That's another one as opposed to Thunderbolt. Okay, here's the Scarf Lando. Assault's Urshifu. All right, I don't know about that. Okay, I kind of get it, but all right, sure. Okay, but yeah, other than that, you know, you can kind of see where we're going with this. You know, this will be an Assault Vest Rillaboom without a doubt. With leftovers here, Mystic Water. This will be Booster, right? We don't. I like Specs, but Booster was the option that we went with, right? And then here you have 3 good items here. Either you go like Goggles here to get around Amoonguss. You can go Rocky Helmet here to get around, you know, Dragonite, Urshifu, you know, Chenpao, that kind of stuff. Or you can also go with Citrus Berry for a little bit more recovery, right? Because we already have leftovers here. So that's pretty much the way you want, if you want to approach it. Right? I feel like all 3 items are going to be pretty good depending on how you view the matchup. If you really want to be that guy and go Rocky Helmet, you know, be my guest. I think that's also a really nice idea. I think we can just actually use that, and we'll just go like a Bold Nature here. Okay, but anyway, let's go ahead and finish rounding out the team, so this way we can get you this pace and have you practicing this Thundurus Landorus double Genie idea. Okay, so from here, honestly, what I like to do is just go for into the Landorus here and just go for, again, Rock Slide and then Terra Blast, right? So this is going to be Terra Blast, Terra Flying. So this is going to be an offensive Landorus, but it's still going to be a good pivot option, you know, with U-Turn, able to cycle in our Intimidates without a doubt. And then just deal a bunch of damage along with Thundurus, right? I think these 2 are going to be very, very, you know, interesting and difficult to deal with sometimes, especially on ladder. So yeah, this one, Heatran, of course we need a fire move, so we're going to go with Heat Wave and Terra Blast. Terra Grass is also relatively nice, especially against like opposing Urshifu. You know, you have a way to deal with it. Can be good also into something like, what's that thing called? Dondozo a little bit, right? You know, Terra Blast, Terra Grass. We already have Rillaboom as well. You can also just offer Earth Power here if you like, or even something like Flash Cannon, right? Because you don't have a Steel move, just in general. So if you want to go that route, you can definitely do that. But I feel like Terra Blast is already relatively standard here. And then Fake Out, Wood Hammer, U-Turn, and then Knock Off, right? This is a very standard Rillaboom set. Now, at the same time, if you like Stomping Tantrum here over Knockoff, you can definitely do that. I think that's also okay. I do like Terra Water on this Rillaboom at the moment, right? Because here's the idea. You know, Terra Fire was used, you know, so this way you don't get burned and you can resist fire damage. But you can also go Terra Water to have that same effect. Now, you are susceptible to burns, but the reason why I sometimes seldomly don't like to go Terra, because now I'm actually weak against the Urshifu, where ironically, I'm supposed to be a counter against it, right? So I don't want to be weak to an Urshifu. So I feel like Terra Water is a little bit better on Rillaboom at the given moment, but that's just my opinion, right? If you like Terra Fire here for that same reason, then you can definitely do it, okay? The Ursh here, this is also going to be very standard here with Surging Strikes, Aqua Jet, and Close Combat here. And then Terra Water is also really nice. If you want to go Terra Grass to get around the Amoonguss, you can definitely do that. We've done that in the channel before with good success. So if that's something that you like to do, then definitely consider that. But other than that, with this Flutter Mane here, it's going to be 3 attacks with Protect. And I like Terra Fairy for a little bit more damage. It's also good defensive typing here, but overall, I think this is the way we want to go about it here. And this is the way we did it in the video. So yeah, let me know if you like this, but other than that, I'm just going to go straight into the spreads here. So with Bold Nature, which is the one that we went with max HP. Most Thunders will go max HP, right? If you're a support Thunders, you kind of need the bulk here. And then from here, we went with 156 in the second EV bump here with Bold. And again, if you don't know what EV bumps are and you're trying to play competitive Pokemon, you should definitely ask and comment below what are EV bumps, so this way I can explain it to you. They've been around since Gen 2, but nobody ever really knows what they are until you watch YouTube or go on the internet, right? So this is the second EV bump here. This is what's gonna let you survive the Dragonite E-Speed, right? Champ-Out boosted, right? And I believe we have that calc here. So again, I clicked Terra Normal, Choice Band, Adamant 252. We are going to be living the E-Speed here, so that is the whole idea behind this calc. All right, then from there, you have 100 EVs left to play with. You just need 1 point in special attack. And then from there, I kind of just want to be able to outspeed, Flutters, especially the timid one. So I'm going to go to 140, but actually 141, because this Urshifu is actually also going to be a 140 speed Pokemon. So I don't want to speed time my own Ursh. So for that reason, I just made it 1 point faster. And then you just dump the rest in special defense over here like this. And that's really all we need. Yeah, let's just go Terra Water as well. This is also going to help us resist the Surging Strikes damage from an opposing Urshifu, so might as well. Landers here. Again, with Landers, I'm going to go Animate 116. I think just getting a little bit more damage out of this Landers to the second benchmark is going to be quite good for him. And then let's go 220 investment. So again, the same idea, with Thundurus and our Urshifu, we're going to go to 139 speed here. This will outspeed a timid Flutter Mane at +1, right? Because some of these Flutter Manes are opting to go for a little bit more speed now. So let's try and outspeed them and just go with 139 over here, right? Because if you just do a little bit of a quick math here, if you do 139 times 1.5, that'll get you to 208. And that'll also outspeed, the Iron Bundle as well. Then from there, you just put the rest into basically your HP and put 1 more point in special defense, or in this case 2 more points, right? This is just to round out the EV spread here, but that was really the goal here. Just get the bump in the attack stat and then achieve your speed tier. The rest is just extra, right? Just dump the rest in HP and whatever leftover points you got, just put in defense and special defense. Heatran here, so I like a bulky Heatran. Anytime I have leftovers, I always aim for 192 for a couple reasons. This will optimize leftovers and it'll also optimize grassy terrain recovery. It's a perfect 12, so I always aim for that. Here's the benchmark here with 76. And then in terms of like a speed tier, I just go like 156. This is always like relatively safe. 117 is a pretty fast Heatran. This will outspeed most Rillabooms, if anything. So I also want to, especially if they're running Stomping Tantrum, I don't want to have to like deal with that. And then from here, 72 EVs, you just spread them out, 36 here, 36 here. This is all we really needed out of our Heatran. Just, deal some damage, but just be bulky, stay in the field, spam the occasional Heat Wave, along with like the occasional Terra Blast or even like Earth Power if you want. So, go figure with that one. Rillaboom here. So again, Adamant, 132 investment, the same idea, the same benchmark, 192 investment here. Let's go to the third benchmark here. In terms of speed, I like just about this much for my Rillaboom. 116, I don't want to make it too fast because then that's going to be taking a little bit away from the bulk. And then from here, I just want to make sure I have an even number for the Assault Vest, because if I have an odd number, this will be, after 1.5, it'll be an odd number, it'll round it down. But this 132 investment, along with 52 defense, this is also going to help you survive Dragonite E-Speed as well. So, you know, that's really all I also wanted to do with the calc. This Ursh, speaking of that E-speed, this is all you need to survive that calc. Adamant 156 for the second benchmark, with dumping the rest in special defense. This has been our Urshifu spread for a while now, and it's all in our rentals, so might as well just keep using it. The Fluttermane here, again with this, I'm gonna go 36 here. I'm gonna make this relatively bulky. Same kind of speed tier, 175 that we used to do in the past. This will outspeed max speed Dondozos, you know, because they cap at 174, the Adamant versions, but it's also meant to speed creep the Lilligant speed creepers, right? They want to go 173, so we'll just speed creep them and go to 175 here. And then you can go simply like this, where you have 1 point here, all right, and then this will be fine. But the idea here also is I also wanted to optimize for the grassy terrain, so I took a little bit off and just went to 160. So this way I can get that optimization that I want for my HP. But this is pretty much it, right? So in terms of like, you know, just looking at the team, you know, on paper, right? We have a Fire Water Grass Core with Heatran, Rillaboom, and Urshifu. We have a strong special attacker in Fluttermane. We have something in Heatran as well. The Trick Room games, we have it with Fake Out with Rillaboom, and we have substitute Heatran. Against, like, you know, Ursaluna Landorus stuff, we have our own Urshifu, we have our own Rillaboom. We have combinations where we can just go Fake Out Surging Strikes. We have two pivoters. We have a Rillaboom U-turner, we have a Landorus U-turner, so that's good as well. Thundurus here, we have speed control here with Thunder Wave. We also have a little bit of quote-unquote speed control because we have a Scarf Landorus as well. And then we have damage mitigation, right? We have Intimidate, we have Eerie Impulse here. So that's going to help us there. And then we also have Taunt, so, you know, we can deny potential setup plays with that idea here, right? So this is a pretty nice idea here behind the double genie idea. So here's a free team, right? And again, if this is something that you're interested in, you know, make sure you know, sub on the channel, tier 3 sub request, where you, the viewer, get to hop on a Discord call with me, and then we get to build a team from scratch. And then we just hash out EV spreads like this. And then from there, we get you that team that you need for a tournament or a premier challenge, a local tournament, whatever it is you need, ladder play, we will satisfy your needs. But again, you know, the idea behind this squad is, okay, you know, I don't want to just keep using, you know, Dragonite, Chanpao, Ursh. I don't want to, you know, also use Crest Ursula. Is there something else that I can use that's still like relatively strong? There's so many archetypes. We had a whole archetype video. Okay, you can choose almost up to like 12 to 15 archetypes. We gave like 11 in there. Here's another one. All right, so double genie with Landorus Thundurus is another idea. You can also technically, you know, explore the idea of like Thundurus and then Enamorous, right? Because then you can just capitalize off of Contrary, right? Because you can Eerie Impulse yourself, Scary Face yourself, and then from there just give yourself a whole bunch of boosts, and then, you know, use the Enamorous as the dominant sweeper, right? But I wouldn't put that on the same team as Fluttermane, so you're gonna have to swap out this slot if you do explore that idea. All right, but that'll be it for now, folks. Let me know what you think of this double genie team. Let me know what you think of another double genie team if you've been using it already. But that's it for now, folks. We'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.